In this session, we want to look at homework section 3.1, number 8. This one has to do with using your graphing calculator to graph the sine of x. So it says, with your graphing calculator in radian mode, graph y equals sine x from negative 2 pi to 2 pi on the x, and with y from negative 2 to 2. Okay, so first you need to just learn what your basic trig functions look like so you know what to expect. Sine, cosine, tangent. Then we'll add secant, cosecant, and cotangent. The sine function looks like this. Okay, so this shows it from negative 2 pi to 4 pi, and we're told to just graph it from negative 2 pi to 2 pi. But basically, learn your graph on that first period. So sine starts at 0, goes up to 1, intersects at pi, down to negative 1, and back to 2 pi. So just remember that that's what the sine curve looks like. Okay? Now, the other thing we need to look at or remember is using your calculator. Now, I've got a TI-84. If you're using a different calculator, then you may want to Google your calculator, go to its instruction manual, whatever, to figure out how to use it. But we'll be using these buttons just below the display screen so that our graphs will appear in the display screen. Some of my settings under my mode button, it's normal, float, radian, function, connected, sequential, real, and full. And then to graph it, I just click the y equal button and put in my function, y equals sine of x. Then I click the window button and I put in my ranges. X min equals negative 2 pi. And yes, it does convert that automatically to negative 6.152285 ... And the max from to 2 pi, scaling 1. Y min negative 2, Y max 2, scale 1, and then just press the graph button, and it draws my graph. Now, as you're first learning it, a bigger challenge may be figuring out how to use this graphing window in Wiley. I gave you a link in the modules for one of their representatives explaining it, but let me show you on this first simple graph. So I will click here to start. They give me two function choices. Now again, I said remember y starts at sine function starts at 0. So this is the one I want, but notice they do give me a screen tip telling me that's what it is, and to click on it and drag it on the graph. The other one in this particular problem is the cosine. So we'll take the sine, drag it on the graph, and I kind of aim for centering it at 0. It doesn't usually stay there. And then I'll move it to the right till I'm at 0, and up and down until my max is at 1 and negative 1. So that's my graph. Now, in comparing it to the one with the pi's, remember 2 pi is approximately 6.28, so I'm intersecting to the right of 6. 1 pi is just 3.14, I'm to the right of 3. Pi over 2, it's at 1, and pi over 2 is equal to 1.57. So you see how this relates to the graph that we looked at in the other format. Okay? I hope this was helpful.